Now, the Awards of Excellence have been selected by the jury after the artwork was brought to the museum and hung. So they've been judged as originals as opposed to in situ as opposed to as from image. And 5 were selected. We've created 5 special awards to commemorate this. So the first award I'd like to announce Derek Bond for Little Snowy Plover. There's a certificate and the medal itself.
Wow.
Jay Johnson for Sun Glows on the Land. I should point out that the certificate was designed by one of our members, Alita Karstead, also a Canadian, and Linda Rawson for Maritime Migrator.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Wow. Oh, thank you all.
And Eric Berg for Japanese Giant Salamander. And finally, Allison Nichols for Sable Drinking. And finally this evening, I think the reason why many of us have traveled so far this evening, I know for a fact some of us have traveled over oceans to be here for the opportunity to meet a very special individual, a Canadian, and is Robert Bateman. We're here to celebrate him and his lifelong dedication to preserving the world that we are also passionate about protecting and depicting and portraying in our paintings and sculptures. I think I probably speak for many of us that Bob has been an inspiration from a very young age, certainly for as long as I can remember personally, and I know that echoes many of you here. Bob is a model in so many ways, not just in raw talent as an artist and an inspiring artist talent-wise, but truly as a humanitarian, a gentleman, and someone who has countless accolades. It's not even worth starting to go through them because there's so many. And his contribution of millions upon millions of dollars towards the cause to realize protection for wildlife and habitat over the years to many organizations. So what I'd like to do is, rather than talk anymore, and I know you are all here to hear him speak, Bob, I know, would like to say a few words to you, but before that, we have a little lead-in, and that is the Simon Combs Award. And another individual has come a very long distance, all the way from Kenya, Kat Combs, to be a part of this presentation of the Simon Combs Conservation Award. And Simon was a member of the AFC until he was tragically killed in 2004. And it hit our community like a sledgehammer. We all felt that he was beloved, and he was a very lifelong committed conservationist and an extremely talented artist as well. And some of his work is also is hanging in these walls. You'll have to have a look. But Kat is here to be a part of this presentation, and I'd like to invite her up and Mr. Bateman up to accept this award. So Kat, if you could come up and actually first, and maybe say a few small words about what this means.
Thanks, Jeff, and the Artists for Conservation, and for this opportunity to celebrate Simon's work in this manner and to honor his legacy in his work as a great artist and his work in the conservation world. I'm very pleased and honored to be here tonight to present this award to Robert Bateman. Simon was a great admirer of Bob's work and also his work in global conservation. And without further ado, I shall present this award to Bob.
Thank you very much for all you do. I'll explain. This is a trophy. This is a trophy that is a bronze sculpture that was designed by one of our members, Peter Gray, who was living in Zimbabwe at the time, and it is custom founded, inscribed with Bob's name in it. It's a pure wildebeest, and we had a competition several years ago to design a sculpture, and Peter Gray unfortunately isn't able to be here today, but that's the significance of that piece. So over to you, Bob.
Thank you very much, and thank you first of all, Kat, for your kind words and for coming to present this in Simon's name. The feeling was mutual, believe me. I was a great admirer of Simon, and he was a superb artist and a great friend of wildlife and conservation. And Kat deserves a medal too for the work she's continuing. Trying to protect that very precious part of Kenya, which if anybody has been there knows it's a wonderful part of the world, but very, very greatly threatened. Let's see, there's a whole bunch of things I have to say, and I haven't made many notes, but it's all in my head. Birgit would want me to hasten to add, the millions of dollars didn't necessarily come from our pockets. They came from print programs. And I sort of have to hand it to Milpon Press, my publisher. And in the great heyday of the prints, a lot of these programs were doing very, very well and continue to do very well. So that's where a lot of this conservation funding came from. But we try to do our little bit in our own way. I get overwhelmed and I keep looking over my shoulder. Who are they talking about? They must be talking, giving awards to other people here. Because basically what I do is paint and rant. And I don't have time to paint tonight, but I may be ranting a little bit as I go along, or I'll be telling you just a few of my thoughts and ideas. But before that, I wanted to thank Jeff in particular. I'd like everybody to put their hands together and give Jeff a round of applause.